Hey farmers, and welcome to this week's installment of the official FarmVille podcast. My name is Lexalicious, and I am here to bring you all of the latest news and information about FarmVille from Zynga. So this week we will be doing things a little bit different. This week our podcast is a special English countryside themed podcast. We will be walking you through the beginning of your adventure on the English countryside, as well as answering some of the most frequently asked questions from the community about our latest release. Just so everybody knows, our podcast will be resuming its normal format and schedule on April 8th. Now, FarmVille English Countryside adds an all-new chapter to the game you know and love. For our players who have not yet had a chance to look, FarmVille's latest launch adds all kinds of new farming fun set against the backdrop of the beautiful English countryside. In FarmVille English Countryside, players travel with an English duke back to his homeland where the village farms have fallen into disrepair. You receive new land to apply your expert farming skills to and be in charge of getting the English farm in shipshape. FarmVille English Countryside also features all new crops and buildings, sheep breeding, new characters, and premium English soil that will allow you to master your crops faster. Today we are going to go through some of these things, but first we want to talk to you about how you can get to your new farm. Now, the only real requirement you need to begin your journey to England is that you need to be level 20. As soon as you hit level 20, you'll see a pop-up informing you to look up at the sky, followed by a short movie of the Duke crashing his airship on your farm. The Duke will promptly present a deed to your new farm in England. Clicking on Place Airship will immediately put you into placement mode. You can choose to place the damaged airship on your farm now, or you can place it in your gift box for use later. Note that placing the airship, which triggers the quests, is completely optional. If you'd rather not bother with England right now, you can keep the airship in your gift box and pull it out when you're ready. When you do decide to place it, you'll be launched into the first quest. If you don't see the quest window pop up, you can always find the quest icon on the left-hand side of the screen. Usually each quest has between 2 and 4 objectives that need to be met in order to complete it. Many objectives can be skipped by paying farm cash. As an objective is completed, a green check mark will appear next to it. You can close the window at any time by clicking on OK at the bottom of the window. Once all of the objectives for that quest are completed, a reward consisting of a set of prizes will be awarded to the player. This can include XP coins and a special item or two. If you haven't done so already, click on the quest icon to bring up the quest window. For your first task, the Duke needs something heavy to hold down his airship. This first quest has just one objective. Buy 3 crates and simply place them on your farm. Click Buy and then place it on your farm by clicking an open spot. You'll see the progress banner open up next to the quest icon, which indicates you've made progress in the quest. For your next quest, the Duke wants to bring you back to England to see the new farm, but the airship has sustained some damage. Cotton will be needed to help patch it up. This quest deals entirely with planting the cotton only, not harvesting it. Simply plant 50 plots of cotton by hand or with a vehicle, and the quest will automatically complete. After planting your cotton, you will have another quest similar to the one I just described. Now, you're ready to go to England, so it's time to throw a party and all of your neighbors can be invited. The more you get to come, the sooner you'll be able to leave. Click on the quest icon to start the Bon Voyage quest and invite your neighbors to see you off. Click on the Invite Friends button to start inviting your neighbors. When they accept, the meter on the left will begin to fill and their avatars will show up at the party. Now, remember folks, to travel to England you need the help of existing friends. You do not need to add any new neighbors. Once you get 4 neighbors, you'll see a 4-day countdown timer show up underneath the Bon Voyage party banner at the top of the window. If you manage to hit 15 neighbors, the countdown timer will decrease by 2 whole days or will hit 0. Getting 35 will instantly zero out the countdown timer. Alternatively, you can always pay farm cash to skip this requirement. Once the countdown timer reaches 0, you can travel to your English farm by clicking the Go to England button at the top of the screen. When you're in England, you can come back to your home farm at any time. Note that when you are on one farm, the other farm is paused. That is to say, all of the timers are stopped. Your crops will not wither on a paused farm, but they will not grow either. A neighbor can only visit whichever farm you are currently active on. They cannot visit a paused farm. Now that you are in the English countryside, you're probably going to want to know how far along your neighbors are and where you are in comparison. Or maybe you want to help them with their quest but are unsure of how to do this. Well, that's what the handy village map is for. This map displays where you are in the English countryside quest and where all of your neighbors are so you can track your progress, see if someone is stuck, and what you can do to help them out. All you need to do is go to your English farm. Now look at the buttons in the lower right-hand portion of the FarmVille game window. The map icon shows up as the default option where the co-op button used to be. The village map shows a path of quests leading from the sheep pen at the start through a series of mystery buildings. It highlights which quest you and your neighbors are currently on. As you progress in the English countryside quest, the mystery buildings will be revealed one by one until you're done. You can help your neighbors by moving your mouse over their profile image. A pop-up will show displaying the name of the neighbor and a Get Help button. Click on that button and you'll get a prompt to post a feed to their wall, giving them a specific item to help them out on their quest. Click on that button and you'll get a prompt to post a feed to their wall, giving them a specific item to help them out on their quest. If there are more than 3 neighbors for each major quest area, you'll see a text link showing how many more neighbors are at that area. For example, if there are 9 neighbors in one area, there will be 3 profile images and a 6 others notice. Clicking on that text will show you a new window displaying all of the neighbors in that quest area. From there, you can easily click on which neighbors you would like to help. If you've already used this function to help out a neighbor, you'll see a message stating that you've already helped out that neighbor for today. If you come back the next day, you can post another feed to their wall. Neighbors can be ahead of you or behind you in their quest path. It doesn't matter where they are in relation to the quest that you are on. Now in our next podcast, we'll be giving a quick walkthrough about sheep pens, but for now, we want to answer some frequently asked questions from the community regarding the new English countryside release. First up, do I have to go to England? The answer to this one is simple. No, you don't have to complete any of the quests and you continue on your own farm anytime you want. We want you to go to England to experience all of the new features, items, and quests, but you do not have to. Is storage universal? Can I transfer items between farms? Currently, storage is not universal between farms. Each farm has its own individual unique storage space. Once an item is placed on one farm, it cannot be moved to another. Now, you may be asking, what about my gift box? Many items stored in the gift box can be placed or used on either farm. This includes many decorations, buildings, and animals. Unique quest items, collections, and certain consumables may only be used on one of the farms depending on the item. This also means that purchases made from the model farm, which go straight into your gift box, can then be added to whichever farm you wish. Once you place that item, however, it cannot be moved to the other farm, so please choose wisely. Where can I get a ram to start sheep breeding? You can get a ram by starting the sheep pen quests on your English farm. By completing them, you will get Brutus the ram, who you can breed with. Other rams can be acquired by purchase in the market or through your neighbor's feeds if they are sharing newly bred rams. And lastly, one of our most commonly asked questions so far, how come I can't breed sheep on my home farm yet? Currently, sheep breeding is only available in the English countryside. However, we'll be adding this ability at some point in the future for players who have mastered their English farms. Alright folks, well that's it from me this week. Again, my name is Lexalicious, and we hope that this special podcast was helpful for our listeners. I will be back to bring you all of the latest news and information about FarmVille on April 8th. As always, please remember to come share your thoughts and opinions about the English countryside release with us on the official FarmVille forums. Happy farming, everybody!